good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And it's Thursday morning here in Melbourne. Wednesday for the rest of you who live in the past. I do apologise for being so far ahead in the future by 8 hours. Okie dokie. I hope everybody's doing well. I'd like to shout out firstly, if you are watching this on Facebook, welcome along to the stream. You can leave comments on the Facebook stream and we will see them over here on YouTube. If you would like to join us over here on YouTube, you can pop over to youtube.com/JadeStarr and join us in the chat here. All good. You can also catch this stream every day live simulcast on www.howtoapponios.com, where you can also catch up with a whole bunch of playlists and previous shows. So there's plenty of material for you to catch up on, because this is, again, episode 122. There's a lot of content. Definitely. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm going to have some fun today with something that is, I don't know, normally used more in the electronic world, maybe? Who knows? But there are no rules in music. That's the amazing thing about music. You know, fuck genres, fuck division and all that kind of stuff. Whatever you create, be it noise, be it dance music, be it death metal, it doesn't matter. It's all music. As long as it makes you happy, that's all that matters. I'll say hello to folks in the chat. So Benedict Stewart is here, Tom Rigel, Dr. Zorders, I think I saw also earlier. Healing Heart, hello. Wall, welcome aboard as well. Deep Gravity, good to see you too. Mike Holmes, good to see you, my friend. All good. Scott, how are you today also? Good to see you. I hope you are all doing well. Man, there's been a lot of live streams already today. Look, for all the lockdowns that are happening again, we were in lockdown here in Melbourne for like 5 months, you know, and the rest of the world was pointing at us and laughing at us. But since we've come out of lockdown 3 weeks ago, we've had 0 cases. It's really interesting now seeing that the whole of the UK is going back into lockdown. It sucks heaps, so I hope you all get out of it very soon. But I have to admit, there's a lot of really cool streams that are coming out of your area. You know, I'm getting like 3 streams a day from Doug over at the Sound Test Room. Jacob Hack just had an awesome stream that went for ages. There's so much content, so many great creators. And if you are not subscribed to people like those two I just mentioned, seek them out at the Sound Test Room and Jacob Hack and follow them, because they create great content. There's many great content creators happening right now. Let's have a look at if there's any like price drops in apps or anything like that. There's only really one showing here that's of any interest to me. I downloaded it last night. As you can see, this Theremin Touch. It's not really an AUV3 or inter-app audio. It's just a Theremin. The thing is, when I purchased it, it only works on iOS 14, but it's free. So I always grab stuff that's free anyway to have a look. So I can't even show you it on this iPad because I haven't updated it yet to iOS 14, because I'm waiting because I have too much important stuff on this iPad. But I downloaded it on a few of my other devices. And, you know, I guess it sounds like a theremin. Hey, Lady Roline, welcome along as well. So at any time, you can go and check out this website if you don't know what it is, appslice.co. There's a link to it in the description. Just lets you know all of the price drops and stuff like that. Great for around this time with Black Friday looming above us. So keep that in mind. Before we jump into today, I'm going to buy something because I'm really excited about... I'm trying to come up with a concept for my new Utensils album. If you don't know what Utensils is, it's one of my many side projects where I try and create music from anything I possibly can. The first album we released as a band was actually a house burning down. We actually recorded a house burning down to the ground, and that was the entire album. One song and a house burning down. The second album, we used field recordings, transistor radios, television sets. We smashed gear up, anything we possibly could. And the second album I did all in GarageBand. The next album I used PlayStation Music 2000 and Music 2000 on PC and GarageBand combined with a whole bunch of field recordings and polystyrene and balloons to record the album. So I should be clicking this and talking at the same time. I'm multitasking is shit right now. So this is Utensils. And the last album I did, I recorded the whole thing in a MIDI music sheet music program and wrote out a whole bunch of symphony pieces and then totally destroyed them, just absolutely mangled them up. And so that album is this one here, the Symphony of Stupidity. All of these are online. You can buy them all from the website. So you can see what have we got? A whole bunch of albums. This is the one where we use field recordings and set shit on fire and stuff like that. So I like challenging music. So I'm trying to come up with a new idea for the next Utensils album. And I've decided I'm going to use a whole bunch of the apps that I've been looking at lately. Like, where are we? Apparillo, Velvet Machine, some of the effects in also... so Fundamental, I'm going to be using those exclusively. And also going to be using this app today, Gors. So, because you can really get some amazing things out of this. And the other thing I want to use, I'm going to purchase right now on the show. So, I know this is only an inter-app audio and it's a really old app, but this is, if you don't know what a Commodore 64 computer is, this is an emulation of the original Commodore 64 SID chip. And I'm thinking about using this to create most of the albums. So I'm going to buy this right now at $13.99 Australian. Joy. Happy days. So let's buy that sucker. Thank you. Awesome. And we'll look at this further down the path while that is downloading. So what are we looking at today? We are looking at... Geez, that downloaded really quick. I guess a SID chip doesn't take up a lot of memory, yeah? God, I remember back in the day when I got my first Commodore 64, I had a VIC-20 first, then I got a Commodore 64, and I had a keyboard, like a piano keyboard overlay that you put on top of the actual computer. And man, I thought the SID chip was the most amazing thing I'd ever heard in my life. So we're looking at Gors today. Gors Field Looper. So if you don't know anything about this and you don't know, so this is made by Bram Bos, and they have a whole heap of really high quality apps. Okay, really high quality apps. And this one they've worked in conjunction with an amazing artist, amazing electronic artist who I've been following for a long time. I've got a lot of his recordings, and only recently I found out he had a YouTube channel because of this app. But I've had his recordings for ages because he's actually an influence on my band Utensils. So this is Hainbach. He's an amazing artist who creates soundscapes and noise and textures using tape loops and stuff like that. So him in conjunction with Bram Bos have come up with this fantastic app which we're looking at today called Gors Field Looper. And let's break it down and make it simple. It's just like having a tape recorder in your pocket, and you can go out and use your iPhone or your iPad with it on your app and use the microphone on your app to record anything you like. And you can save that into this looper and bring home all these field recordings and, create some really amazing, bizarre soundscapes and textures. It's even got like a sequencer built into it, so it's really cool. So as usual today, what I'm going to try and do is think outside the box and show you another possible way, because there's like Hainbach has a video on this. The sound test room, there's a whole lot of Gavinsky's tutorials. He's got one on this as well. But what I want to do is something different, because a lot of people who look at these apps look at it in more of just an electronic sense. But I want to put through some heavy guitars and some death metal growls and some stuff like that and see what we can get going that way, because I'm predominantly a rock artist, So I just want to show you can virtually, just because something's an electronic tool or classed as that, You don't have to follow the rules. And that's what Hainbach is all about. This creator from Berlin, he breaks rules, and that's why he's very influential to me. I've actually sent him an email. I would love for him to come on the show as well. So I hope he will consider that. Maybe after I finish today's show, I'll send it to him and see if we can get him on the show, because I think it'd be really interesting to have someone like that on, talking about this app and how he creates. He's just outrageous sounds. So I see there's more people who've come in. I think, have I missed anyone here? Did I call out Healing Heart? Russ, hello Russ, how are you today? Gary Hubbs, g'day my friend. Scrolling up, have I missed anyone? I don't think I've missed anyone. If I have, yell at me in the chat and say, you missed me. So let's have a look at this. So now it's AUV3 plugin, right? But you can open it as a standalone app. But if you open it as a standalone app, it will use the microphone that is on your device. So remember that. It's a field recorder. Hi, Nick Hamby. Good to see you too. So it is a field recorder. So when you open it up by itself, be prepared to only use the microphone that's attached to your device. And the reason that is if you want to go outside and record something. So, and I'll put a link in the description to Hainbach's video on this, because he actually goes outside and records a whole bunch of things outside his house, and then he records a bit of a piano in his house, and he puts it all together into a loop using this, and it just, wow, the soundscapes and textures you can get from this app is really cool. So when you open it as a standalone, this is what you get. I've already opened it up once before, so I didn't get the little warning there that says you are not plugged into an audio interface because you're not connected to anything. This is using your mic. So basically, because I have all this hooked up and things plugged into it, I can't use it right now to show you that, because the microphone's all... Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So what we have here, and I'll show you this in this big screen here, is just think of it as an old school tape recorder that can record up to 45 seconds of tape. Okay, and what you've got along the bottom here is this is your tape. You can see it's moving at the moment, so it's moving in a loop at the moment, and this little knob up here, this decides how long your loop is going to be. So if I pull it back to 15 seconds, you can see the little line down here is sped up. It's moving a lot faster because it's a shorter recording. So up to 45 seconds, you can move that wherever you like. And what happens is you've got a big record button underneath here, and you just basically hit record and play or record what you want, and then hit stop. Okay, and once you've done that, and so once you've actually recorded something, even if you've chosen 45 seconds, but you only record 15 seconds of something, as soon as you hit stop record, it will, the actual length will change to however long you actually recorded. So it's always good to, set your recording to the max, and then hit stop, and it will auto calibrate to exactly how much time you recorded. And then what you can do is there's a button over here called little overdub, and once you hit that, then you can just keep hitting record and stopping and overdubbing as much as you want on top and layering everything. And that's how you build a loop just within this little tape recorder. So it's like a multi-track overdub little tape recorder you can carry around on your iPhone. Or, as I'm going to show you now, you can jump into something like AUM, and let's do that. So if you're not familiar with AUM and you're watching the replay, there is a link above to 2 episodes that I have previously done on AUM. And I'm going to be doing a few more next week, and hopefully, going to do some giveaways for AUM, because not enough people, probably from my channel, use it or have even considered it if they're in a rock band or anything like that. So, and that's the reason I've been looking at more of these apps, to try and integrate some different sounds into anyone who is making rock music, or anybody who's doing electronic music and wants to, like, you know, blend stuff together, because it's always good to mix shit up. So let's open AUM. And as usual, we're presented with this wonderful little option to add a track, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So we add an audio track, and here is what we're going to start working with. Yeah, and people like as Wallace said in the chat, I pretty much live in AUM. And, you know, there are a lot of people who do live in AUM. There are a lot of people who've moved house into Cubasis, and a lot of people who are still living in the comfort of GarageBand. And that's fine. Whatever makes you comfortable. So, here we are. Now, we're going to start off with putting some guitar in here. All right. And then we'll have a look at doing some vocals, and then we'll add like a WAV or something like, or some music, and we'll fuck around with that. And then we'll add in like a keyboard. So we'll cover it 4 different ways you can use this. So up the top here, this little plus, we're going to hit, so these are your sources you can choose from. I'm going to hit my hardware input, and I'm going to choose my guitar, which is my second channel, the right channel. And I should actually grab my guitar, shouldn't I? Hopefully it's still in tune, because it's so hot here in Australia. So it's been, the last few days, it's been 100 degrees Fahrenheit if you're in the US, and around 38 degrees Celsius if you actually measure in a decent standard like Celsius. Why do people still work in Fahrenheit? It astounds me. I'll just tune up quickly. Bit too far. Cool. So what happens in my room gets so hot here, and I've got my air conditioner on all day, and because I turn it on and off, and I've got 7 guitars, every single guitar's strings when I go to pick them up are all out of tune. You gotta love what heat and cold does to guitar strings. It's an amazing thing. So let's add some distortion to this firstly. So I'm just going to add bias effects too. So this is an interrupt audio. We'll throw that in here. Yeah! That's a pretty cool sound off the bat. So that is the tone we're going to be working with. Now all I do here is where this this effect is that I've just added, I'm going to just double tap underneath that, and that gives me another effect. So now what I can do is go to Audio Unit Extensions, because that's where I will find Gors, and there it is. So I'm going to add that now into this chain of effects. So now I can open up Gors in here. Let's make it a little bit bigger so everyone can see what the hell is going on. There we go. So here is our looper. Now, when I play guitar, the sound's gone. So we need to monitor it. So over here on this side, you've got your gain, and I've got a monitor button. So I'm going to click that on. We should. Great. So we've got a monitor now that is coming through this, so we can record into this. And let's set the length of this, as I said, to the maximum of 45 seconds. So we've got plenty of record time there. And all we need to do is I'm going to pause it. So here's your pause button, and this takes you back to the start. I want to take it back to the start, because if I didn't and just left it playing, as soon as I hit record, it would just start recording wherever this little moving ticker is. So that just continuously moves. So let's pause it, take it back to the start. Cool. Now I'm going to hit record and just start playing for about 40 seconds. Let's go. Now you'll notice when I hit stop there, it just started playing automatically. And if you have a look, up here where the loop length is, it's automatically decided it's 24 seconds. So it's now sorted itself out down the bottom here. So when it gets to the end, it's just going to keep looping, right? So let's put down the guitar just for a second because we'll come back to it. Here's where the fun starts, folks. So while this is playing, I can grab, so see where it says 1 point times here. I can grab this and drag it forward, and I can drag it back. Forward or back. So if I drag this forward, the beautiful thing is, I can actually take this so far back that it goes in reverse. Am I pronouncing it right? I think it's Gors. I think so. So you can see you've got a lot of crazy stuff you can do here with your time. Speed it all the way up backwards. So it's basically like a tape recorder, right? You can mess with it heaps. You also have, let's have a look at the rest. Just we'll play with this for a little bit more. I'll turn it down a bit. So you've got some buttons over here on the side, so you can add like a tape warble. Let's turn that up. So we give it like a... Yes, you can do multiple... you can run multiple instances of it. I'm not sure if you can... I'm not sure if you can record both of them at the same time. But you can, like I'm going to go back and overdub on this as well. So you've also got an inertia knob. Let's pull the warble down. Now, you also have an attack and decay. So let's bring up the attack. Now, it's not going to make much difference here, right? Because we haven't done what we want yet. Right. So you've got filter, FX and stuff here. You've got like a delay. With a delay time over to the right. You've got a filter cutoff. Right, so let's just stop it there for a second. And let's put some overdubbing over it before we start sequencing with it, because there's a sequencer in it, a 4-step sequencer, which can really take this sound to a place you would not expect. And once you turn on the sequencer, you can actually sync it up with the BPM in AUM, which is really cool. So what were the notes there? So we'll take this back to the start, and we shall put some stuff over this. So to do that, you go over here and click the overdub button. So when you click the overdub button, it can just keep looping and you can keep adding stuff on top of it. Okay, so let's just have a go. We'll just hit record and start putting some stuff over it. Right? Now while it's playing backwards, let's add something else. Right, so what we're going to do now is play with the, take these sounds. Now, it all sounds like a bit of a mess at the moment, but here's the fun bit. Let's start sequencing it, because we've got this 4-step sequencer here. So the way we move this to get into a sequencer mode here, we'll turn off this overdub. So the thing is you need to remember, okay, is to always flick back between overdub and the actual normal recording. If you try and, if you actually erase a track and then start again with an overdub, it's not a good thing. You always want to start with the overdub off to build on top of it. Now, you'll notice up here above the warble button, there's a trigger and a loop. So if when you touch this, it moves to the trigger. Now you can see across the top here, you've got now a 4-step sequencer that is moving in time. All right. So if I start playing this now, and we'll just put it forward for now, back to... Okay. This is where things get crazy. So as we look at this, the first trigger is actually on here. So you've got 3 triggers here, all right, that you can turn on. You've got these 4 steps. This is set to a quarter, so I can turn this up. Okay, so imagine now we put a beat to this. Starts to open your mind a little bit to the things that you can create, which just came from this stupid guitar riff. Here's the cool part. You can add your triggers at different timings. To change the beat. Now remember, there are no rules. This is all, I have no idea really still what I'm doing. I'm not an expert in any of this. But you can just play around with these knobs, because we all love playing with knobs. Not all of us. And you can create some really interesting stuff. So as you can see, the 3 triggers here I've got set. One's at an eighth, one's at a quarter, and one's at a third. And that's what's creating this different rhythm. So along the top here, you've got 4 steps. And you can see it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going over and over. Back and forward. Exactly, Russ. As Russ has said in the chat, and anybody watching on Facebook, if you're not seeing the chat here, think of it this way. You can't break it. You can't fuck it up. Just experiment. That's what it's all about. There's no right way to do anything. But these 4 knobs along the top here, these change the pitch. So you can see them going forward here. So now I can change the pitch of maybe step 2. Let's bring in some attack. You want to make it even more sickening? Let's bring in some warble. But here's the beautiful thing, right? If we move this over a bit, so over in AUM, you have your beats per minute. Because this is set to the sequencer now, I can change the beats per minute. Let's take off all this stuff. So now you can see I've brought the beats per minute over here to 20. As I bring it up, so you can sync this up with, say, a drum beat with a another track with drums. Right, so let's take this in reverse now. So what I've done now, so you've got these 3 buttons up here. So there's off, trigger, and loop. Now I've actually set it to loop. So listen to the difference of what happens now. We'll go back to off. This is the original tone. Here's the trigger. So there you go. There's just a guitar, and look at all those flashing lights, man. It's just crazy what you can do with this thing. So once again, think outside of the box, because now we're going to like just jump in here and how to delete these things. So you can record this into another program. You can save it as another file using AUM. You can put this into GarageBand. You could put this track into Cubasis, whatever you like. There's no limitations. This is just a beautiful little tape recorder kind of thing that you can do. But don't fear, Lady Rodline, if you don't play guitar, because you can use it with anything you like. And I'm going to show you that. So now to erase this, because this just stays in this little tape recorder here. So what we're going to do is there's a big erase button. You can't miss it. And all you do to erase is double click. Bang. It's gone. So if we hit play now, there's nothing there. All gone. Nice and clear. So let's get rid of this guitar effect, and let's go up here to my hardware, and we'll change this to port 1, which should be hello. Yes. So I'll turn down my main microphone. So here we are. Ooh, that's a bit loud. Sorry about that. So I'm using my Shure SM58 right now, and the quality's not that. It's a bit bassy, isn't it? Yeah. So let's jump back in here. We can also let's add an effect to this too. Let's add a few effects to this vocal, so we can make it sound a little bit more interesting. So we'll actually go to audio unit extension, and in AUM, when you go to your audio unit extension or Interapp Audio, you've got all the things that you've got installed. And we're going to go down and look for 4 pockets. Where are we? Soloist FX, yeah. So let's add this vocal effect, and we'll put a doubler on it. Hello. Hey, how are you? And we'll add a bit of reverb. Whoa, yeah. How cool is that? Let's take off the auto tune and the smoothing, or we can add that in there. Ooh, yeah. And let's add a lower third. Whoa, well, yeah. Or we can go up to a yeah. Whoa, my, you want it all, but you can't have it. Yeah, cool. So now we've got some effects on there. Let's jump into Gors. Stop it. And we'll bring it up to 100% moving forward. Make sure overdub isn't on and the monitor is on. So now let's hit record and I'll just sing some random melody with no words. Whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Whoa. to the start, remembering that it's running in reverse right now, and we'll add some overdubs. It's probably not going to sound good because I'm making it up on the spot. Okay, so well, you know what, Deep Grody, it is easy. It's only as easy as what you allow it to be, because mistakes make you better. The more you fuck up, the better you're gonna get. And I fuck up every day. Yesterday I fucked up 3 times in one stream. So much so I forgot to announce the winners of the show. I actually forgot to upgrade LumaFusion before I started the show, so all of the new things that were in it weren't even in the app that I was showing you yesterday. And I learnt my lesson. So now you can hear we've got this crazy noise going on. And we can turn on the sequencer and turn this into something else completely. So now that the sequencer's on, remember, we can change the BPM over here in AUM. Let's fuck with the tempo a bit. So you've got this, I haven't even touched on this yet. So you've got this mutate button here, and I love a button that is called mutate. Because look what it's doing to it. What the hell? Man. Fuck. That's fucking cool. Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually I sent an email to Bram Bos asking for a promo code to actually do on the show, but I hadn't heard back in like a day, and I couldn't wait, so I just fucking paid the $10. Like, sometimes you can't wait, you know. And I don't expect anything for free from developers ever. I normally will ask if it's possible. If I don't hear back, you know, and I really want to do a show on it, I will just go out and buy it. Because, hey, I want to support developers as much as anyone else. That's, you know, another reason I'm doing this show. So let's step it up a little bit. So now you've seen you can mess with vocals. So, you know, think of it. You can do anything with piano or anything like that too. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of this soloist effect. We'll go back in here and we'll erase this. So we've got a clean palette once again. Let's bring in some audio. Let's try doing that. So how do we do that? So up the top here, you've got your sources. Again, where I change the hardware input for choosing a microphone or guitar. You've got your audio extensions, Interapp Audio. But I can choose audio bus, where am I? It's down here. Is it file player? So I can choose file player here. What that does is when I tap it, it should open up the option for me to go into audio share. Here we are. So we're in my audio share now, and I can import any file into this as well, right? So what I'm going to do, as I mentioned at the start of the show, my band Utensils, that makes a lot of this kind of music, really fucked up, crazy stuff. Let's try and bring in a couple of songs from my last EP. So let's bring in, so the last track on this EP is a crazy piano piece I wrote called, where is it? I can't even see it in here. Molesting the Ivories. So let's bring this in and I'll play it for you. This piece took me 3 months to write. It's pretty demented. But what we can do here, we'll take this back to the start. So we can now go into Gors, and we can actually record a part of that. So we'll set this timer back to 1. We'll set it to the maximum so we can get as much of this piano track as possible. And all I need to do is hit record and then hit play, and we should be good to go. Oops. You know what I did? See, here's what I did here. We'll stop it. I had overdub selected, right? So you got to deselect overdub for your initial recording. So we'll double click to erase. So that's erased now. Go back to the start. We've got a 45-second time limit set. We'll hit record and then hit play up the top here in AUM, and we'll record a part of this. Cool, so here's the recording. It starts playing straight away. And of course we can reverse it. Scott says, I've been meaning to do more with Rosetta and MIDI sequencing in AUM. Some pretty cool results from what I've heard. Yeah, and what I'll do with this in a moment is I'll add Rosetta as a MIDI channel and add some more sequencing to this, just to show you, to take it to that extreme. Russ says it's something that just adds something that I would say I've had happy accidents. Exactly, this is a happy accident, definitely. So I can reverse this stuff as well, as you heard. Wow. And you can add some attack to it. But let's stop it and let's go back to the channel up here, and we'll bring in a different song from my Utensils album. So what else do we have here? Horse Racing is for Fuckwits. Let's listen to this one. Cool, let's add this one in here. So this is called Horse Racing is for Fuckwits. It was the second single off the album. I know my titles are so pleasant. Always pleasant titles. And we can go back into the sequencer here, and what we can do now is hit overdub. Take this back to the start. We'll just take it back to the start, and we can add some of this in here. Let's do that, shall we? So So now if we go back to the start here, fantastic app for using for intros, exactly, Russ. So let's add a sequencer to it, going backwards. But it gets interesting too when you add your attack to it, right? Bit of ASMR now. I fucking love playing with shit like this. Yeah. It makes me so happy making avant-garde stuff. Exactly, Tom Rochelle has said, very avant-garde. I just love avant-garde music. I love deconstructing music, turning it inside out, fucking it with a glove-covered fist, and throwing it in the bin for 3 days and coming back to it later after it stinks, rubbing it in the dirt, and then listening to it again and fucking it with it even more. I just love breaking the rules of music, because that's what music is all about. If we didn't break the rules of music, we wouldn't have so many amazing artists that have changed the world with their astonishing sounds. So lastly, as we are at the hour kind of mark, let's just throw in just quickly to show you. So we'll clear that just for now. We'll bring this back up to 1, stop it, go back to the start, and we shall remove that, and we'll bring in just a plain keyboard or something like that. So, or let's just bring in something that makes some cool noises. So fundamental, let's just bring in Apparillo. If you haven't seen Apparillo and you're watching on a replay, there's a card above my head. This is really sick app for making just... and the thing is, so Fundamental, if you haven't checked out that as well, Fundamental is also another collaboration with Hainbach as well. So I've done a show on that as well, so go and look that up. That would be astonishing. So that's like creating soundscapes and noise and that kind of stuff, just sonic tones. That would work really amazing with this. In fact, anything will work really amazing using Gors, because you can field record anything. You know, as I said, you can go out and record cars driving past. You can go out and record nature and turn nature into a even more deconstructed sound. Wow, a few of you have gone out and bought this today. I'm sure the devs will be very thankful for that. So I hope you all, those who have purchased it, get a lot of value out of it, because I already have in the few days that I've had it. So let's have a look at this. This is Apparillo, and I'll need to link this up to my on-screen keyboard. Cool. We have done that. So let's bring my keyboard up. Cool, let's choose a sound in here. So look, the beautiful thing is with Apparillo, it's already got some pretty crazy sounds in it. Cool, let's go with this, man. This is going to create some very dark shit. Cool. All right. So here we are back in Gors, and we're back at the start, ready to go. Overdub button is off, and we'll just change this. This is a beautiful thing about using AUM too. You can, any app that you have open, you can change the size of it to fit. So I can have this over here, and I can open up Apparillo, and I can change the size of that. So you can see all the apps that you're running in AUM at the same time. Really, it's just such a beautiful app, AUM. Like all three of these apps that I'm currently running. Cool. So I'll make this a little bit bigger now, so you guys can see what's happening. And we'll just start doing a recording of this. So it starts playing straight away. Let's grab another sound from within Apparillo and just make this a little bit bigger so we can find another sound here. Cool. Let's have a play and overdub on top of this and see what we can do here. So overdub is now on. Hit record. There you go. Gary Hubs, the power has just gone out. I hope. Damn, man, that sucks. All right, folks, so that'll do that for today, I reckon. What do you think? Yeah, pretty good. Looks like a few of you have gone out and purchased it. Pretty crazy shit. You let your mind run free, and these are the kind of things that you can create. Of course, this ain't going to be for everybody, you know, but what is for everybody? Not everything is for everybody. That is the way things go. But you can really create some amazing things. You could create padding, even if you were writing, you know, just a normal rock song or anything like that, or just a plain electronic beat or anything like that. This can be great padding, something completely different than using pads or such like that you find in standard gear. So this is the reason I love apps like this. I've been showing a lot of them lately, because as I said at the beginning of the show, I'm gearing up to make my next noise album. And if you are interested, folks, as I mentioned, you can head over to my website at jadestarr.com.au and check out Utensils, because I'm currently filming a movie for Utensils as well. So let's end on that. So I'll say goodbye to you all, and let me do that. Let's end on, because we've been doing a whole bunch of noise stuff today. We'll open up here and we'll end on the, see if I can find it, the latest movie trailer for my film, just for something different. So, where are we? I can't even find it in my list here. Utensils, it's probably right in front of me. I don't have my glasses on. Fuck. Man, my vision is getting worse. Day by day, by day by day. Let's just do, there it is, symphonies. Let's just do a search, yeah? I don't want that. Go. Utensils. The answer is 42. So this is my movie trailer. Let's end with this. And I'll see you all tomorrow, yeah? Remember, do the things that make you happy.
Computers now have primary control of critical functions. 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 Computers now have primary control of critical functions.
remember, folks, tomorrow it is actually a big day for me. It's a Transgender Day of Remembrance, where we actually unfortunately count the number of dead people who've been murdered as transgender for the last year. And astonishingly, we've broken a record this year with over 350 trans people around the world murdered for absolutely no reason. If it wasn't for COVID, there would have been over 400 definitely. So, and to not celebrate, but to memorialize tomorrow, we have Riley Perry coming on the show, who plays in the band Mechanical Black, which is a trans progressive metal thrash prog band. And we'll be discussing all about their band. So join us tomorrow for that. And as usual, stay cool, stay gangster, do the things that make you happy. Check out more at www.helloapp.ios.com. And remember, Pete Johns has a show coming up in about 45 minutes. So do that as well. And I'll see you all tomorrow, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Love your support. Subscribe and like the video, please. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.